Welcome to another Cinema Snob compilation, where obviously the best part lately has been the ads whenever I'm promoting a convention appearance that's already come and gone. But having far better continuity is the Prom Night series. Kinda, sorta, not really. Whether you're a slasher film, or an Elm Street style horror film, or a comedy version of that, or a Psycho Priest versus Skinamax movie, or the bad 2000s remake / Lifetime thriller, the point of these movies is to never ever attend Hamilton High School. Unless you're Brock Simpson, then you'll regenerate and you'll be perfectly fine, so enjoy. That settles it. No son of mine is ever going to prom, unless I find out there is a sweet disco soundtrack. Yes, what Halloween and Black Christmas did for holiday horror films, and what Friday the 13th did for summer horror, Prom Night does for the high school set slasher. Marty Ranson sends you a very nice thank you card with a poisoned apple. Prom Night was released in 1980 and stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Leslie Nielsen. Oh, this is gonna be hilarious. It'll be a comedic satire on par with what Leslie and Linda Blair did in Repossessed. Or maybe it'll have more in common with the other 1980 Jamie Lee slasher Terror Train. Like that film, this is also a Canadian movie, as this one was shot in Toronto. And this is another revenge slasher where a terrible accident occurred years prior and someone's gotta pay. The killer simply prefers to wait until prom night to seek out his revenge, because at least then he can get a free spiked drink and dance the night away. There's some other ties to the Halloween franchise too, as it was Halloween producer Irwin Yablans who suggested to the film's director Paul Lynch that doing a horror film set around a holiday isn't a bad idea. This was pitched to producer Peter Simpson, who liked the idea, and financing, which started out difficult, grew a little easier when they secured Jamie Lee Curtis for the role, who replaced the Brady Bunch's Eve Plum for the role of Kim Hammond. With a story from Robert Guza Jr., who wrote Curtains, I have the feeling this will be a fine slasher, as Paul Lynch and writer William Gray previously did a movie called Blood and Guts. Though I don't think that's a horror film. Why does this wrestling movie lack decapitations? They also did Humongous, too. You know, the one about the hairy 8-man on an island. You're not getting into this prom, buddy. All killers must be the appropriate age. What more is there to say? All you had to do was walk into a pitch meeting and say, I've got Carrie meets Halloween meets Saturday Night Fever. Now go make this thing so I can watch it. This is Prom Night. Oh no, we've had our first casualty. Who hit the cameraman on the head? Never mind, he was just distracted by the mirror. Gotta make sure there's no reflections in the shot while the kids be creepy.
Killers are coming. Killers are coming. Killers are coming.
Before Nintendo, there wasn't much for the kids to do. There's lots of games to play in this abandoned convent. You can play hide and seek or join a cult. You can run to the nearest ghost girl gathering from an Elm Street movie. Anything's possible if you use your imagination. Ready or not, here I come.
The killer is coming. The killer's gonna get you.
You just have to tag the opponent. No need to murder them. While the franchise is kind of a quasi-anthology series, there's some similarities in each one. One of them being that this actor, Brock Simpson, who's the producer's son, is in all four, but is different characters. No word on the other kids, dressed as their short-lived girl gang, the Mam Burglars. Young Robin Hammond sticks around, though, on account of it being too confusing if the other kid is 12 or 35. Don't go in there, the cinematography clearly shows it's a horror film, along with the co-writer, the cinematographer, Robert New, and the composer, Paul Zaza, also worked on curtains as well. I like how this game of hide-and-seek is shot like it's the end of the movie, and the final girl is hiding out. And I don't know about this game.
Kill! Killer's gotcha.
All you have to do is just say kill without actually doing anything? Save that for the PG-13 remake. Go figure, though, the kids who run around buildings and shout kill, kill, kill are also no good bullies. They're the upper middle class version of the bullies from Pumpkinhead. Also, what do you think is gonna happen? She's either gonna fall out the window or step on a nail and require a tetanus shot. Well, falling out a window it is. So I win the game, right? Best come up with a plan.
If we tell anyone, they'll say it's our fault. Who believe it was an accident? We'll go home now and never ever tell anyone.
She's not just thinking fast, she's thinking smart. Have y'all done this before? Even the building wants to make sure she's dead. I'm sure that just landed on the sidewalk. She's fine. Don't worry, Principal Frank Drebin is on his darkest case yet. It was Nordberg, we all know it. Let's just get her all bandaged up and back to normal. Or, put a caution sign in front of the abandoned building. Should I be making jokes? It is 6 years later, but the grave still says too soon. And there's the siblings, Kim and Alex. I can tell it's Alex. He hasn't changed his look in 6 years. Now I don't know if you're 20 or 45. Who cares about sad shit? It's prom season.
Have a date for the prom yet? Mm-mm.
He also wants to go with Ben Tramer. Another trademark of the series, too, is that they're all set at Hamilton High School, and I'm sure they all have red herring characters, like the kindly yet creepy janitor. He also has to survive the movie so he can live on centuries in the future and give some slasher exposition in Jason X. And it doesn't matter what time of year it is, it's still Black Christmas.
Hello?
Jude, can you come out to play?
Sure, why the hell not? I don't know about stranger danger yet. And how does everyone in this seem like a serial killer?
Hey, beautiful, need a lift?
No, thanks.
Come on, I won't bite.
No, I will not be in your Nickelodeon show. This seems legit.
Well, I've heard about guys like you running over girls on the sidewalk.
If they're good looking, I give them a ride.
I see nothing wrong with getting in the car of the before picture of Jared Fogle. A free ride's a free ride. And thus Unsolved Mysteries was created. What's with everyone in this? Hang on, I gotta answer the phone. I know it's the killer calling, but at least I'm not getting in the car with him yet. She'll be safe with Drew.
Drew, this horrible voice on the telephone.
Heavy breather?
It was worse than that.
He turned you on, didn't he?
You've made lewd phone calls before, haven't you? At least Nick here is smart enough to be like, I'm not answering that. I know it's the killer calling. I gotta get to school. We'll find out if he's a student or if it's his first day substitute teaching. Hell, so far, the craziest thing happening is the flashbacks.
We only wanted him for routine questioning, but he tried to outrun the detectives. Why do they have to chase him?
What is happening here? It's like I'm watching an episode recap of the Rockford Files. So they pinned Robin's murder on a sex offender who's disfigured and is in an institution. Hurry, make sure he escapes so the events of the burning can happen. Whoever it is also going after more Halloween alumni. Wendy is played by Anne-Marie Martin, who escaped Michael's wrath in Halloween 2. She also co-wrote Twister, that's pretty cool. Even Michael Myers was supposedly in a cameo that was cut from the film. Does he just chase around anyone who looks like Laurie? And what kind of school is this? Save it for prom, you two! And please, use the complimentary student ashtrays that are inside every locker. Let me guess, this guy is weird too.
Now I know why Kim won't go out with me.
She likes girls.
It's better than kissing an ashtray.
Shouldn't you be teaching shop class, Mr. Hansy? And I think Nick is cheating on her.
See you later, lover.
I told her it was over.
No one can resist the power of my old Navy sweater. Bad news, though. There is a killer on the loose, but they want to keep it quiet. Make sure word doesn't get out. Sales for prom tickets are 80% of the town's economy. Also, we've got to test out the dance floor before the big night. Make sure no one will slip if we accidentally drop a little bit of cocaine. And are the school assholes just waiting around the corner for anyone to show up?
I mean, Nick is king of the prom and you just happen to be queen of the prom. But that's as far as it goes, Hammond.
You look like you should be the dance teacher. Why are you so intense? Seriously, even their yearbook photos look like staff pictures. But she's gonna say the line that's in every prom night movie.
It's not who you go with, honey. It's who takes you home.
Yeah, loser has to go home with Slick and is then never seen again. I wouldn't be surprised if they just let the killer walk around in the open of the actual school.
Well, if you like it so much, why don't you teach it?
Then the killer was placed under arrest, no one died, and the movie is over. Kidding, just more tomfoolery. Back when you could wear a mask, beat the shit out of people in the school, and all you'll get is a good talking to. Send him to change his pants, at least. I think you kinda shat yourself a little there. There is another similarity between this and Terror Train that I like. Both have connections to skullduggery, as the lead Adam appeared in Terror Train, while this one has Michael Tuff, who was also in skullduggery. Let's take a break. I'm sure the characters need to step outside for a cigarette or something. While Michael Myers may not have a cameo in this, you can get a cameo from yours truly if you're looking for a shout out from birthdays to anniversaries or anything else. Head over to my Cameo page at cameo.com/thecinemasnob. Hope to hear from you. We're back, and it's a film noir now.
I've got to get that bastard before he butchers someone else.
Please don't. It's a slasher. I'm here for the kills. Oh, and I guess these two patched things up as they're hanging outside this spectacular view from the track. I do appreciate the editing here, where they keep showing quick flashes to remind us which character is which. I would knock it for that, but it is helping. I still don't know about Lou, though. He looks like a whole person made from Buddy Repperton's neck sweat. I guess it's tennis class now. Practice your moves, ladies. Point your ass to the camera like we practice. It's the one the janitor likes the best, too. Okay, I know you're not the killer, but I also don't think you should be working at this school. Every offender in the area has got to be hanging around here. If they're not in the showers, they're still getting a good look outside the changing room too. It's okay. The sign requests that the perverts at least check in with the office first. That's what happens when you decide to hire the Zodiac Killer as your janitor. I mean, I'm sure I'd want to hang here too, but only because the theme is disco madness. I'm sad I wasn't invited. This is my cup of tea. I also like that it's a high school horror film where everyone is popular. It has its own Nancy Allen and John Travolta from Carrie, only they're just picking on other equally as popular characters. I guess it makes sense. Are there any other students at the school? So far, I'm getting the impression that only about 10 people go here. Really, anyone could be the killer. Who put these pictures up in their lockers? Who knows? Pick your pervert! Cut to the chase and arrest every side character in this. Seriously, even when they're getting ready for the magical night of prom, it's like they're hitting the streets for a brutal night of vengeance like in Miss 45. Also, Mom, Dad, I told you you can't also come to prom. You already went too far interrogating people as to who killed Robin. And the killer is right there. Yes, that vehicle would be perfect for my next family road trip. It screams, pull off at the exit and eat at the Cracker Barrel. The killer lurking outside doesn't seem to bother Kim, though. The kid from Getting It On is usually lurking out there with cameras anyway. Now they are ready to go on their date before the babysitter shows up to take care of the kids. Seriously, like hell there's only a 6-year difference from the younger version to the characters now. One looks like she's killing time, waiting to audition to be someone's cousin on Dynasty. The others look like McConaughey and friends from Dazed and Confused got drunk enough to try sneaking into the dance. I mean, I'm used to people looking older in these, but they make the cast of Porky's look like the cast of The Sandlot. What will totally win me over, though? The movie becoming the disco-themed drama it was meant to be. The soundtrack is the best part of it. That and the twist. Slick the van guy has been Artie from The Simpsons this whole time. The soundtrack is interesting here. When the actors were dancing on set, they were listening to hits from Gloria Gaynor, Donna Summer, Patrick Hernandez, and more, but clearly they couldn't get the rights to have those in the film, so Paul Zaza made sound-alike songs in a matter of weeks. The fun is guessing which songs inspired them. Ah yes, Dancing in the Moonlight from the classic tribute band Queen Harvest. I do like the prom night title song, though, and Jamie Lee is a hell of a dancer. In fact, she was so well trained she did all of her own dancing. She was so good that sometimes doubles were used for the actors, like Casey Stevens. Why the hell wasn't my prom like this? This looks like they combined both Grease and Saturday Night Fever into one movie. They even used some of the same shots. My prom looked like we rented out a spare room at the DMV from moving violations. I don't know how much this works as a slasher, but as a dance movie, I'm into it. Don't think I'm still not paying attention, though. I know these extras aren't teenagers. Let's take another break. We're an hour into the movie, and even I've forgotten there's a killer wandering around here.
Now you can blush automatically with Revlon's new Super Lustrous Cream On Blush. It delivers color that goes on like cream, whereas like powder. So you can shape, shade, contour. Yes, you can. And baby, it's waterproof to stay on while you carry on. New automatic Super Lustrous Cream On Blush by Revlon. It's beautiful.
We're back, and it didn't take long for this prom to get rapey. I'm still sticking with she'd be safer in a room with the killer than she would be with her prom date, which is saying something because it's a scene where she's in a room with the killer and then dies. Oh well, if he takes out Creepy Slick in the van, perhaps he's doing the town a favor. Maybe I shouldn't joke. They do genuinely seem to like each other. That's more than I can say for the other couples in this, and this is a couple where he rolled up on her like Gacy in a clown car. Screw it, the more I'm talking, the more I am rooting for these two. Crap, I just cursed them, didn't I? Oh my god, save the joints! That's my entire income! In fairness, Slick has been on the neighborhood watch list for a while now. This good Samaritan was simply taking his shift far too seriously. He'll be fine. Just drive around in circles till the killer gets dizzy and falls out. Why are there just random cliffs in this town? I feel sorry for the van. Apparently they stole it to put it in the movie. I hope to God someone went to see this and was like, oh, what the hell? That's my van! Sure it is, Dad. Meanwhile, this seems par for the course for this prom. Not sure if it's the janitor or if he's supposed to be one of the freshmen. Who cares? Someone uninvited is gonna be in the restroom. Shit, sorry, forgot my axe. I'm getting a kick out of this scene for two reasons. The lighting here is good in the continued ghost town school halls, and the song playing is a sound-alike for Born to Be Alive. Don't know if she'll make it out in time before the studio steps in and requests more gore. The director wanted to make this a relatively bloodless affair and wanted to focus more on the suspense. The movie originally even received a PG until Avco Embassy Pictures said, no one is going to see a PG slasher. So they shot more gore and made it an R. My, how things changed when we got to the 2000s remake during that period where execs were like, slasher fans will like their movies edited to a PG-13, right? Here I kinda see why the studio would have wanted to step in. This cat and mouse sequence goes on for a pretty long time, honestly, all for it to just end like this. Okay, the van got a better death scene. There's good news though. The burnt offender who escaped the institution has been caught. Like there's some other slasher that's been going on off screen that the police assume is also the killer. The lieutenant is taking this well.
Well, I can start enjoying the prom. See you in the morning, Sayer.
What do you mean enjoy the prom? Get out of here, old man! He wants to stick around. The I Will Survive sound-alike is playing. Plus, someone needs to chaperone this because of the drunk janitor. And as for the students... Hey, what did we tell you? The restroom is the designated smoking area. The students are serious about fighting over this crown. It doesn't look like he's stealing the crown to become prom king. It looks like he's stolen the crown to become the official Burger King. Chopping the head off of Lou until it flies out on the dance floor aside, overall the movie is very, very standard. But it's a big step up from the Canadian slasher I watched last week. The soundtrack is fun, it's got some good dance scenes, but the kills aren't really anything to write home about, even though some can be funny. It's not a poorly made movie, but to compare it to Terror Train is the far better flick. That movie got bonus points, not just for the train gimmick, but also the costume party gimmick, plus its sleight of hand themes, a good climax, and the cinematography alone helped elevate it too. This one, I can see why it did okay at the box office, with its ad campaign and prom theme, and that poster. It hit during the right time during the slasher golden age. It's like it's both memorable and unmemorable. It's memorable in that it's a Jamie Lee Curtis movie and it became a franchise, but the actual contents of the movie are the unmemorable part. The characters are stock and reminiscent of other things like Carrie, and the killer is so generic that I've seen the movie before, but upon a rewatch, I couldn't remember who the killer was from when I saw it way back when. But the very, very 1980-ness of it does at least make it a good rental. I can't fault a movie whose climax has the heroes fighting an axe-wielding maniac on the dance floor, and for the killer to be like, ow, being hit in the face with an axe hurts! I'm getting out of here and I'm gonna rethink my life. As for who the killer is, it was Robin and Kim's brother. Alright, he's got the motive, so makes sense. No loose ends, really. We can roll credits. No joke, it ends just like that. Oh, it was you? Okay, so long, audience. It ends when the hero just found out she's in a horror film. Give us this legacy sequel. It'll be hard to retcon that the killer isn't her brother, though. The adventures of Hamilton High proms will continue in 1987's Hello, Mary Lou Prom Night 2. Yet another prom that I was not invited to.
Mary Lou Maloney is back for the prom, and she's going to make sure it's a night you'll never want to remember. Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. Rated R.
Starts Friday. Consult your local newspaper for showtimes.
Sure, that 1980 prom didn't go so well. What with the dead body and dead van count? But that was years ago. It's 1987. We're not gonna do Halloween at the prom anymore. No, we're doing A Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes, Leslie Nielsen has apparently retired as principal, so now we're in the much safer hands of, what? You got Michael Ironside to be the principal of your school? That's not gonna make the body count smaller. So if you think that this story of a prom queen who tragically died in the 1950s and then possesses a girl in the 80s in a quest for revenge doesn't sound too much like the first film, that's because it wasn't even intended as a sequel. It was originally shot as its own thing called The Haunting of Hamilton High, but retitled Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2 by the distributor to give it some name recognition. But even with that being the case, it did already have some ties with the first. Both are set at Hamilton High School, both were shot in Canada, Paul Zaza did the music again, and they have the same producer, Peter Simpson, whose son, Brock Simpson, appears in this one as well. Directing duties, though, went to Bruce Pittman, who will make it a perfect Saturday night at the movies, as he directed several segments of the movie show Saturday Night at the Movies. And the writer Ron Oliver would later work on plenty of sequels, such as Bigger, Fatter, Liar, Beethoven's Treasure Trail, alongside a lot of TV Christmas movies. There'd better be a flaming prom in each one of those. This movie had the supernatural power to make sequels all around. It's shot by John Herzog of Cracker Jack 2, features Lisa Schrage of Food of the Gods 2, Justin Louis of Saw 4, and Terry Hawks of Cube 0, and Beth Gondek of Screwballs 2? What are you doing here? I recognize the character Candy Bar anywhere. This school already seems quite sinister. Yes, somewhere in there is the drunken janitor from the first, graphically pleasuring himself with the pom-poms. This is shot like Nancy is gonna walk out and find Tina in the body bag from Elm Street. Makes sense to me. Jim Doyle did the effects here, who also did work on the first Elm Street. What kind of school basement is this? Indiana Jones didn't have to leave the country at all. The Ark was in the basement of the school, containing the spooky titles that'll melt your face. Here we meet Mary Lou Maloney, who confesses all of her sins, like disobeying her parents, taking the Lord's name in vain, and she's extremely popular.
I've had sinful relations with boys at my school. Many boys, many times.
My child.
What school do you go to? Just in case the Lord asks. She came here not to confess, but to gloat, and even writes for a good time call, in which the writer used his own number and was disappointed that no one called. Some things never change between 1980 prom and the 1957 prom. There's a lot of dancing going on, and what in the hell is with this old man student? Even I didn't start balding in high school. I like how he's supposed to be the younger version of Michael Ironside, but looks the same age as Michael Ironside. Sadly, though, he steps away for 1 second, and in no time, Mary Lou is off drinking and making out with that sleazy Bud Cooper. This is all incredibly tragic. She won't end up with Billy, and thus their kids will never be born. Billy is furious that he never got any action.
We've been pinned for a year and you never went this far. Well, here!
All you did was just brush my dick with sandpaper and it hurt! There's another tie-in with the first one, too.
It's not who you come with, it's who takes you home.
Yes, the line in all the movies, the Bond James Bond of the series. While the first had that sweet disco soundtrack, albeit doing sound-alikes of popular disco songs, I like that they actually got a lot of 50s music here, from playing The Diamonds to Little Richard, and of course Hello Mary Lou by Ricky Nelson. Things aren't looking so good for Billy, who hangs out in the bathroom with all of the old people.
Enjoying the prom?
Not much. You?
Why, yes, I am. I am the captain of the football team. Mary Lou is just one prom queen, so there's only so much time left to turn this into a prank gone wrong slasher like the first. He'll teach her to drink and make out without even offering him a shot of gin. Without a bucket of pig's blood laying around, only one type of prank will do. Good Lord, I was gonna suggest dumping used jock straps from gym class on her. Carrie White has no reason to complain now. Pig's blood will come right off. Poor Mary Lou was set on fire. She'll be fine. If that look doesn't say, I'm gonna come back to haunt your ass later, nothing will. But it's the 80s now. No one's thinking about Mary Lou anymore. They didn't even mention her in the first one. Here we meet our hero, Vicky Carpenter, played by Wendy Lyon of The Shape of Water. Not a coincidence her last name is Carpenter. It's one of those where the characters all have the last names of horror icons, from Wes Craven to Stephen King. I'm surprised her last name isn't King, since she kinda looks like she could play Carrie, and she also has a super strict mom with her disapproves of prom face. It does have an aesthetic, too, that sets it apart from the first. The first one did a good job of going for that Saturday Night Fever vibe, while this one is kind of going for a blue velvety-like hybrid of the 80s and a 50s look in some scenes. But when it is the 80s, it's very 80s, like this guy pitching his experiment while the others are talking.
I want something radical. So I developed the guacamole radio.
Wrap it up, son. You're wasting Einstein's time. The only reason Josh here is so cocky is because he got away with killing that girl in the first. Also, like the first, there's only about 10 students who go here. What did you do to all of them, Michael Ironside? We don't have the budget to show him making all the teenagers' heads explode. He's also very disappointed in his son for not wanting to go to college.
Oh, shit, Dad, I've been going to school for 100 years.
Tell me about it. I looked this old when I was a senior in high school. Meanwhile, her best friend combusted inside of Little Richard's laundry machine, while the other girls are vying for Queen Bitch.
Oh, I am gonna look so hot.
Too soon. We can still smell Mary Lou's burning flesh. Anyway, the best place to kill time is clearly the prop room, where we can find the gadgets for the upcoming death scenes. I have even more questions about this school than I had in the first. Sure, Mary Lou was set on fire and died in 57, but who the hell was the person who was like, alright, gather up her soul and burnt to a crisp cape and crown and stick it in the basement? Oh my god, my soul box! Why do I even have this picture on the wall to begin with? Oof, bad memories. Let's take a break. Ironside has enough on his mind right now. He doesn't need Father Brennan warning him about the Antichrist for no reason.
Paris. Paris is a woman. Paris is excitement. She bubbles with the spirit of gaiety and love, a lilting melody. Paris is romance, enticing and inviting. Yes, Paris is a woman, inviting you to all her beauty.
We're back. Let's just clean all that dirt off of the cape, and you'll barely be able to notice the singed muscle stuck to it. Not everyone is into prom, though.
Who gives a shit?
Don't mind her. She's mad the release of the new Cure album was delayed. Even Jess here is sad that her crush isn't calling her back.
I've been trying to call him. He doesn't answer.
Why do you even want the drunk janitor to call you? On the plus side, the cape is back to normal. She will be perfect casting for the school production of Doctor Strange. Sure, she doesn't have anything to do with Mary Lou being set on fire, but that doesn't mean you go around taking the jewels off of her crown. That'll summon her spirit quick. It really works out for the soundtrack that there were a lot of songs in the 50s with the name Mary Lou in it. But bad luck for Jess that there are several things in the room that can kill you, and Mary Lou is using every single one of them. I'm sure she'll just leave her body hanging. Never mind, Mary Lou even put the window to good use. She's so powerful that the priest even prays to her every night. What? Her name is Mary, close enough. This is gonna put a real damper on the school day.
Jess. She killed herself.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. Same detective work that went into Elm Street 3. How could she do this to herself? While she's at the cemetery though, might as well visit the grave. I'm almost surprised they didn't also bury her body in the basement of the school. Kelly is for sure a shoo-in for prom queen. Look, she got surfer Michael Bay as her date. Vicky will be Miss Congeniality though.
You shut your fucking mouth, bitch!
I told you, it's queen bitch to you! The ghostly visions are also starting to take over. This seems about right for a cafeteria back then. The lunch lady ghosts are serving her fresh pool water from the house on Sorority Row. Hell, when the rapey greaser shows up, the movie becomes about half Elm Street and half Slumber Party Massacre 2, which itself was about half Elm Street. Wendy Lyon is really good in this. I like how the Mary Lou ghost gives her more attitude.
This came for you this morning.
Well, thanks for opening it for me.
Those were my coupons. Mother is gonna disapprove of all of this. Putting lipstick on for the first time in your life is a gateway drug to demon possession. But what about Josh? Is he gonna get a date too?
You and I? At the prom? Together? No!
Oh, come on. If Slick can find a date by rolling up in his van, Josh has a chance.
What if I were to kiss you now and it would be so awful that we wouldn't be tempted later?
See, he just quoted her favorite movie, Annie Hall. He's got a date. Meanwhile, though, in Sexy Gym 101... My God, a slight hit on the head sends her right into the underworld from Super Hornio Brothers. How could any of this be happening? I specifically came down here to put Mary Lou's stuff in the chest where it belonged. I can't believe they even let me do that. Boy police work was questionable in the 50s. At least that got her sent home for the day. Her mom will have a rational reaction to this.
She's not sick. She just needs to spend time with the Lord.
Mom, damn, I was only hit in the head with a ball. I wasn't banging the coach and howling like in Porky's. Whatever, going to confession will shut Mom up.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I have had sinful thoughts about my boyfriend.
God, I love this job. Like in all these movies, the priest knows exactly what's going on. Yes, it's because he was the man that Mary Lou was making out with, but also priests just know these kinds of things in horror movies. Mary Lou is a very random ghost. She'll possess the toy horse in Vicky's room to mess with her drawings that go from a self-portrait to, what in the hell, Dixie Carter from Designing Women? I didn't draw this. Wait till she sees the horse.
Go away.
Perfectly reasonable reaction to that. You buy a scary horse and that's a one-way ticket to the bed also attacking you. Everything from the cinematography and the effects are all really good here. And with this imagery, there should have been a character with the last name Raimi. That's nothing another trip to the cemetery can't fix. Yep, grave's still there. And so is someone else. I've run out of whiskey, but I can breathe on your face if you want to get drunk. Father Cooper has the right idea. If the Lord isn't going to stop Mary Lou, then perhaps an offering to Satan will help. Or at the least, quotes from The Exorcist.
The body of Christ compels you.
See, that always works. Now he can return to the cemetery. There are some graves of the people he hated in high school that he hasn't pissed on or set on fire yet. Also, he's writing up tickets for any future Hell's Angel. Heaven doesn't allow those kinds of wheels, son. It's time that these two had a heart-to-heart. Needs to be more 80s den-like. I demand more scotch and far more wood paneling. Now Bill can rub it in Bud's face that he gets laid far more nowadays. It's because I'm a priest, you idiot.
You're different people now. So why don't we forget about it, okay?
I wish it was that simple, believe me.
I still get an erection thinking about me and Mary Lou's nights together. It's all in the scripture that Mary Lou will come back.
Listen to this. If a person dies violently, unfulfilled in a life mission, the soul wanders purgatory for eternity.
Right? The Book of Revelations warns of the mark of the beast on the prom queen's crown. They all just kinda knew Bill was the one who dropped the stink bomb that set Mary on fire, but I guess they were like, boys, right? That's just some good old-fashioned joshing. Everyone makes mistakes. And I can see where his son gets his smooth talker skills.
Shit, you look awful.
Well, excuse me, some of us can't wake up every morning looking like Aiden Quinn. He's contemplating whether it's worth it to continue the relationship and get some prom sex.
I am afraid I might hurt somebody. God, I might hurt you.
I'm afraid I'll also leave the waiter a terrible tip. I also like the subplot with Kelly so determined to get prom queen that she'll resort to talking to 80s Randy Meeks.
I want you to fix the computer voting.
Get serious.
Why else would we have computers in the school unless we use them to hack into the systems to fix our prom scores? She even wants to give him $100. That'll buy him at least 5 VHS episodes of Tales from the Dark Side. Oh, whoa, wait, they actually have class? I didn't know there was any learning going on here. I thought school was just where we showered, went to dance, and went home. Though I do love the part where Vicky gets an old yearbook.
Here, I found it in my father's underwear drawer behind Miss September.
Okay, ghosts can wait. Why is your dad keeping the high school yearbook in his drawer next to his porn? Mary Lou had better do something before we think too much about that.
Cracking up?
Vicky, that was awesome. And leave it to 80s Randy to also quote The Exorcist by just quoting The Exorcist.
Your mother sews socks in hell, Father Karras.
Or quoting the SNL parody, close enough. Well, you're a bit much. Take me back to quoting The Exorcist in a more sinister way. Ah yes, a deleted scene from Regan McNeil Goes to School. Chalkboard ghosts are a nice idea, and it's a pretty badass looking effect too. I always thought that I was summoning some kind of evil force when I had to pound erasers after class. Here's how we know she's gone the full Mary Lou. She's even doing Mary's favorite hobby of macking on the priest.
Will you help me, Father?
Of course, child.
Will you fuck me?
You were supposed to meet me outside. I haven't gone to the ATM yet. Oh, wait, no, you're not the prostitute I ordered. This poor dude should be like, why are you even mad at me? Billy's the one who set you on fire. Why does everyone else have to die? It's because none of you turned Billy in, you prick. And she does come with a rockin' soundtrack, too. Why, hello, Mr. Ironside. You don't know how much I loved you in cross country. Now come with me. I'm gonna tie your dick in a knot with my teeth to make everyone jealous.
Hey guys, wait up. Craig's with me. Scram.
You're the English teacher. You shouldn't be hitting on him to begin with. She's even being militant at setting up prom. Or as Josh puts it,
I'm telling you guys, she's possessed. Linda Blairsville.
We get it. You just saw Repossessed, a classic from the former principal. Also, we should probably be getting a whole new staff in general.
And how are you doing, Vicky? Everything looks good from here.
I'm feeling an A+ in chemistry between the two of us. What the hell, subtle dude. Lord knows what kind of STDs this guy has. Oh, God, yep, I know that burning. It's them crabs again. And why is she getting shit for this?
I watched you in science class today. You did something to Craven, didn't you?
He grabbed my ass. He's lucky I only set his dick on fire. Also, I think that teacher may have taken over as the cinematographer, too. These scenes are shot in, we added nudity to the script at the last minute vision. With one saying, okay, just let me run around in at least a towel, and Wendy lying like, hell yeah, let's do this. We should take another commercial break. Best hide out in the locker. If Yearbook Dad finds out about this, he's gonna show up with a camera to put the pictures in his drawer again.
My sister turned sweet 16 today. She invited all her friends, so I have to look as pretty as they do.
My Sweet 16 Cosmetics helps you grow up right before your eyes.
You look gorgeous.
It's fun to play my Sweet 16.
We're back. I'm sure Monica's gonna be safe hiding out in the locker.
A wop bobbaloo bop, a wop bam.
Every nerd in the audience now has nightmares for life. And Jesus, Mary Lou wasn't just the wildest person in school, but the wildest person who ever lived.
What's the matter, Nordham? Don't you know how to use this thing?
That's not sandpaper, that's a mouse trap. And why is she going after the principal? Oh, right, that makes sense. He did kill her. Sorry, Bill. I knew I should have started with you first. Whoa, hey, settle down there, little lady. What do you think this is, a confession booth? She lets him go for now. Why? Because he's Michael Ironside. We gotta keep him here till the end. Also, I don't know how, but I think she may be possessed by Caligula as well. Yes, the horse, but also the incest. Hey, save it for your date, Missy.
Jezebel! Harlot!
Oof, I guess I'm off the hook. And there's plenty of glass nearby, so that'll take care of Mom, too. Obviously, another suicide. Parents don't have the best relationships with their kids around here. Look what happens when Bill tries helping his son.
All right, where are my shoes?
Right here.
It's the best way I can enjoy my scotch and newspaper in peace. Let the kids have their fun at prom, where the theme isn't disco madness, but Ducky madness. Just saying, I wouldn't put it past Ducky to have a hollowed out TV at the school where he keeps his booze. That's even impressed Kelly, who will still make sure that she wins prom queen with his computer skills. It'll make her father, Frank Henenlotter, very proud, and her date is too high to be none the wiser. Truly, this is how he wanted to go out, dead from spilling his Jolt Cola right on his fancy new prom computer. This is the most 80s prom I've ever seen. I didn't know we used an Atari to announce our prom queens back then. It's making Bill feel young again. He'll do another classic prank, like just shooting her. Poor Kelly, though, right?
Hey, Kelly, how'd you blow it?
It's your fault. You're Ron Oliver, the screenwriter. You're always lurking around. You were in the diner, too. It's also your fault for writing it in that Ironside shoots the prom queen. Now get her dress and crown downstairs to storage immediately. This movie is batshit and fantastic. While getting mixed to negative reviews at the time, it's gone on to be wildly more well received in later years, to where I often see it brought up as the best of the series. And really, it's my favorite one of the series too. This tops the gruesome prom climax from the first. Now we got a burnt skeletal corpse wreaking havoc. Forget Carrie, give her a snake and she's Jennifer. The movie definitely is Elm Street, The Exorcist, and Carrie all thrown into a blender, but what makes it work is that it gives it a 50s and contemporary style and cinematography that stands out, plus the death scenes and effects are original, the acting is very good, and most importantly, they keep it unpredictable, instead of just a hybrid film that runs through the motions. You can even see the influence in later films such as Jennifer's Body. Mary Lou Maloney is a fun villain, the best villain of the series, and the only character to be in more than one prom night movie. It's less revenge and more she just really likes killing. Why have a portal to hell in the school basement if you're not gonna put it to good use? After all, she really just wanted her crown this whole time. I'm gonna tell my son that this is Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Though one thing you can predict is that this will be one where the ending seems like everything is fine, but there's gonna be a gotcha ending just waiting there. If Michael Ironside taps you on the shoulder like this, his character is not gonna be leading you to safety. Don't get in the car with him.
They're playing our song.
And the weird thing is, he's not even possessed. Like I said about the cross between the 50s and more modern films, it's appropriate that it goes out like the last scene of Elm Street and the last scene of Grease. I want to know where it goes from here. Ironside isn't in the third. Financially, it didn't do as well as the first, but it didn't lose money. And this is made to be rented on a Friday night, so writer Ron Oliver and producer Peter Simpson would be back for the 1989 film Prom Night 3: The Last Kiss. We will be watching that third film, but at the same time, I really think that Hamilton High School needs to stop having proms.
Prom Night 3: The Last Kiss. A romantic comedy from hell.
Women.
It took until the third Prom Night movie to go full-on spoof the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 or Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 of the series, if you will. But why do that when the previous was already hilarious? Oh yeah, Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2 was my favorite of the series for sure, but I mean my hilarious goof in the review when I called Ron Oliver's movie Beethoven's Treasure Tale Beethoven's Treasure Trail, which, saying that out loud, sounds like a way different movie. Ron Oliver of Prom Night 2 was also on board this film as well as writer and co-director with producer Peter Simpson, and he always puts a little bit of Prom Night 2 in his films, hence why this shot here clearly shows that Bigger Fatter Liar is in the Hello Mary Lou universe. This film may be called Prom Night 3: The Last Kiss, which it isn't the last Prom Night movie, as there would be a fourth film, but it is the last one to feature the character Mary Lou Maloney, where this time she uses the lust of a horny high school boy in order to cause more damage to the school, again proving that it isn't so much that Mary Lou wants revenge against anyone who had to do with killing her, but more so she just really likes sex and killing. It is for sure a horror comedy, but in that subgenre of high schooler paired with someone supernatural or a monster, like it'd be in a film festival that includes Once Bitten, My Boyfriend's Back, Deadly Friend, Return of the Living Dead 3, or Chud 2. Wake Me when it has a dance as good as the Bud the Chud dance. Move over, Mary Lou, Bud is already prom queen. As the movie begins only a few miles from the moon, we are reviewing this around the Halloween season. Might as well have a Halloween-themed prom. At least they were able to get the grave back from the second. But what about the question of whatever happened to possessed Principal Michael Ironside driving off with our heroes at the end of the previous? Your guess is as good as mine, because here Mary Lou has been doomed to hell to constantly perform the All Hell in the Bottom Carter review of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That sounds like heaven. They have very loose rules here. As long as you cut yourself free, you'll explode back onto the earth through your tombstone. Makes sense. And the first place she goes, back to the school to mess with the drunk janitor, of course. Whoa, what was that? The previous drunk janitor warned me about this. This could all be solved easily if they just locked their doors at night. Yes, it is still set at Hamilton High, as it was written back-to-back with the second, which means the script originally had the title of Haunting of Hamilton High 2. It also still has music by Paul Zaza, clearly all done in the haunted jukebox from miniseries The Shining. While the second film was theatrical, this was a direct-to-video release in the States. Probably why it's just a generic sounding 50s tune playing, and not stuff like Ricky Nelson in the second. It still sounds 50s, so Mary Lou has to come back.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
It's been a long time, Jackie boy. Did you miss me?
It can't be you.
I can tell that Mary Lou and Jack were close, especially since whoever this is was never mentioned in the second. And if he's the janitor, how does he not already know that Mary Lou came back from the grave? Returning to hell, though, did give Mary not quite as bad of scars. She still has to look sexy while getting the jukebox to play Electric Avenue. They also turned Mary into a completely different actress, as here she's played by Courtney Taylor on her way to get revenge against George Costanza for not giving her a secretary job for being too hot. Here we meet our hero Alex, looking like he was inspired to join the band by Mr. B. Natural. The school is such an important part of the community that the lack of recess makes the news. Something happened to the previous principal though, as now the principal is Mr. Weatherall, played by Roger Dunn. It must not be too long after part 2, as they're reopening the gym after the events of that film.
Even the sudden and unexplained fire couldn't keep us down. Look around. Everything's cool, man.
Why are you joking? Several people died! Mary Lou works quick here. She immediately causes the man to cut his own finger off through an indoor windstorm. All 50 students in the school are shocked. That's 40 more students than they had in the other film. Alex has a very bright future ahead of him. I know this man. That's Tom Conlon. He's all set to go to broadcasting school, where he'll be the beloved sidekick Wally to radio legend Ranch Wilder and Angels in the Outfield. But I think I know what the guidance counselor's favorite movie is.
Not all of us can be doctors, Adam. The world needs ditch diggers, too.
Excellent Caddyshack reference. This whole series is a Cinderella story. He seems like a normal guy. He's got a girlfriend named Sarah whose anniversary he forgets. In fairness, I just saw our principal cut his finger off. Sarah's played by Cynthia Preston. He's trying not to impress his fellow geeks by dating the voice of Zelda from Captain N. I don't know if I really care about Alex's problems.
Do you know how tall I am? 5'10". Do you know that's the national average? I looked that up.
Cry me a river. I'm so short I have to stand on an apple box in every movie. Hell, I'm standing on one right now, and I'm sitting. This date is lame. He wants to go back to the school instead. Why does everyone just go back here at night? Can't you tell it's shot in horror movie vision? Oh yeah, nothing haunted's gonna happen if you go in there. Let me guess, they still have the possessed clothing in the basement like before. And it was a huge mistake to start letting the Deadites earn their diploma. It's still freaky when Mary Lou shows up. She magically put an American flag on the wall, even though these are all Canadian films with Canadian actors. Things are still working quick here.
Kiss me, Alex.
Sure, why not? Who wouldn't say no? It's your patriotic duty. The most patriotic thing to happen in school since the unveiling of Purity Bush's breasts and screwballs. Also a Canadian epic. Alex is very lucky no one saw him as the students enter the building by going down the stairs. Tom Conlon is pretty good in it. I like how they're going for a much different kind of lead and not just doing Vicky from part 2 again. There's nothing Carrie White about him. I honestly do wonder if they were big fans of Once Bitten, because he really does look and act a lot like Jim Carrey in that film. But how is he gonna tell his girlfriend that he cheated on her with a ghost?
I brought you these.
Oh, thanks.
By taking her goodies and just not telling her. There's only one way to find out about the ghosts. Use the horror movie newspaper machine conveniently located in the school.
Who's that? 1957, in Mary Lou Maloney's young life, tragically cut short by fire at Hamilton High.
How do you not know this? She was here a year ago, and that's why you had to reopen the gym. This is why he's having so many problems at the school. He can't even take a test without the ghost of Audrey Horne from Twin Peaks showing up. If I have the biggest erection, does that mean I pass? Oh, and he's on the football team, too. It's one of those high school movies where we need the main character to be part of every club and every sport in the place. I guess it's an underdog movie now. The other players are all tough while they're the ragtag team of misfits. Something supernatural needs to step in.
We're gonna need a miracle.
Alex, can you feel me?
Okay, is he the same guy from Angels in the Outfield? That's why he wasn't in Angels in the End Zone. He went through this before, and it was the work of Satan. They're all on the same team. Why is he getting bullied?
Andrew Douglas, report to the office, please. Your mother brought your lunch.
Ken, why does the secretary want to bang Andrew the bully? Let's take a break. Forget the critics. This movie is being hard on itself.
Mark never gave vampires much thought.
Hello, tall, dark, and handsome.
I want to be a vampire. I'm a day person.
Nothing is sacred in a tasty comedy. Once Bitten, rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you. Check local listings.
Welcome back, and Mr. Walker has caught Alex cheating by way of demonic forces.
See anything you like?
What is going on here?
Perfectly normal reaction. He'll take the risk that he'll either get a delicious milkshake or killed by a mixer. That's the power of Mary Lou's hotness. Yes, Alex sees what is clearly a dead body under that bloody sheet, but oof, I'm not throwing away my living out a real-life Skinamax movie. And she helped him with so much.
Wait a minute, that was you on the football field, wasn't it? And in the locker room?
Who did you think it was? Sexy Jesus? He even has a regular old reaction when he actually sees the body.
People saw me coming here, and they're gonna think I did it.
Not if you hide the body.
Well, okay, as the song in Grease 2 says, do it for your country. I've seen a lot of weird porn in my time, but this is the oddest oral sex scene I've watched. What a genius he is at cleaning up a crime scene. Stuff him in the cabinets, he won't smell at all. He already looked like he kinda smelled. Then he can go home and show off at his all-roof house. He can't escape any form of kinkiness. You're my sister, what's this all about? And normally, Alex does so bad at tests that they throw him a party when he gets one right.
Congratulations, Alex. We're real proud of you.
Thanks, Semi-Powers Booth. Dad's gonna slice up the bananas to put in his world-famous celebratory chili. And even that has Alex pouting. Dude, keep it cool. You're banging the hottest ghost in the school while being a dick boyfriend.
If you didn't want to be with me, you just had to say so.
Of course I want to be with you. Why do you have to be so insecure all the time?
Excuse me, not all of us could jump back and forth between playing on the team and playing in the band. But anyway, as the body started smelling a little too much like feces, best move it out of the school and bury it in the football field next to Hoffa. Why can't Mary Lou help? Oh, because she's a ghost from the further and Insidious at the moment. Can't you just snap your finger and make the body disappear? Giving me blue balls isn't gonna make me dig faster. Yeah, my arm hurts for digging for several hours, but I'll take this in lieu of payment. We gotta give the movie a nude scene so that it'll be the scene where the tracking is messed up on the VHS. Now they can set some ground rules for their relationship.
I think we have to set a few ground rules. Firstly, you really gotta stop killing people.
Seems reasonable. What about the other rules?
Secondly, you really gotta stop calling my house.
Totally the same kind of worry as killing people. If they can come to an understanding, perhaps then she can still help him on the football field. Wait, what the hell? He really was horny. He just put some grass over the body and left to have sex. Now that he's mastered football, he's on the honor roll too, which doesn't fool everybody.
Number one, that goddamn little bastard broke into the fucking system.
She's been keenly aware of computer shenanigans since the infamous prom hacking incident. I don't know how it benefits Mary Lou that Alex is atop the honor roll, but it's nice of her to keep the secret while drowning the secretary in battery acid.
You're soaking in it.
The fourth film should have been the secretary seeking revenge, alongside the other prank victim, Marty Ranson. Also, they're on the prom committee now.
This is the inaugural prom, the first dance since the gym has been reopened.
Ah, good. The whole school is here. It's 40 minutes in, and I actually forgot that prom was gonna be a part of the plot of Prom Night 3. Flash, though, has other things on his mind.
It's the rule that says the football team has to let anybody on who wants to play.
You're all winning, though. You should be thanking the power of Satan. But as Alex still searches for Mary Lou in the school's mannequin and stove department, it's the best place for your 50s housewife fetish. He'll get over the no-killing rule.
Alex, it wasn't a person. It was a guidance counselor.
Weirdest burn I've seen in a movie. Almost as weird as this cut.
Math.
Spilling milk makes me forget math too. Or maybe that's just the flaming anus chocolate bar I ate. It's okay, the memory of math comes back to him, and he also remembers that, oh shit, I do still have a girlfriend. Alex cheats at everything else, why should he feel bad about screwing her over? As long as it makes Dad happy, the funniest character in it.
Oh, I'm real proud of you, kid. I knew you could do it if you just dug in, huh?
I'm still gonna kick your ass, though. I hope you understand. First, he makes him a banana split for the ace test, but after the honor roll, let's burn money spoiling the kid.
It's for the trip you and Shane want to take next summer. How to get you across the country in one piece.
Dad, I've never ridden one of these. You're trying to kill me more than the ghosts. I told you, son, we needed to get you a motorcycle. That'll make the poster make sense. Dude is turning into Arnie Cunningham if he was never really that nerdy before and just got some sunglasses and product in his hair.
You're not exactly Elvis.
Hey, get out of here!
God damn it, I told you, I'm Frankie Avalon. No matter what he does, Dad will still be happy. He's even happy his son is sleeping around.
After 20 years of marriage, I've had plenty of opportunities. Plenty of them. I just, never did anything about it, that's all.
Okay, so Dad's a serial killer. Meanwhile, as Jesse Spano gets the cookies ready to impress Alex...
I am miserable here, baking my face off, and Alex is probably out someplace having the time of his life.
Well, it kinda seems like he is, although we're not sure who killed this body. Could have been Mary Lou, or could have been his dad.
Show it to you, then they dance all over it with their spiked heels and then ram it down your throat.
Take it easy, Dad.
Alex only supports murder when he's sexually attracted to the person. And when he gets to face off against the bullies, Andrew is not only pissed that Alex is now captain of the football team, but he's mad Alex got a lead role in the school production of High Tops. Who cares why Andrew just happened to be there in the middle of the night? We need a potentially classic football death. He's so into the game, he'll play along with anyone who shows up in uniform. She's on the team called the Oregon Phantasms. Not bad, but if it was a funnier effect, it could have been the equivalent of the basketball death from Deadly Friend. As funny as it is, where he still wants to have a talk about their relationship in front of a dead body.
What about this?
Nope, that's it. It's over.
Sorry, sweetie, this is one too many dead bodies for me. He'll send her back to Xanadu where she belongs.
Women.
You still have to cover up your dad's dead bodies. Now that he's over his ghostly serial-killing girlfriend, Sarah will go to prom with him, unless she goes with that bastard Leonard Welsh.
Leonard Welsh already asked me.
Leonard Welsh?
Leonard Welsh!
I'm as confused as you are. I also don't know who Leonard Welsh is. That's enough to make Mary Lou jealous. Hoo-hoo, wait till he goes to sex ed class.
We can talk openly and freely about sex.
Okay, now is it the reproduction song from Grease 2? I've already got issues with this sex ed film I'm watching.
But now she lies here, dead, a victim of social disease.
great, the 2 weeks ago cliche. Why is it edited like a bad streaming movie? This isn't as good as the second one, but there are some inspired gags in it. I like the recurring gag with the voice on the intercom saying stupid shit.
Attention students, today is Mrs. Melanoma's last day as cafeteria cook. She's returning to her old job at the Hamilton Toxic Waste Dump.
And this scene doesn't go as far as it could, but they have a good idea with Mary showing up in a sex ed film. They've got other gags to get to.
Alex Gray?
For instance, it's Dragnet now.
Andrew and I, we weren't really that close.
Enemies?
We never, hung out together.
Question, do you like carrots? Oh wait, so that's Leonard? Come on, she could do better than this guy.
I was wondering exactly what color your dress was going to be so that I would know what style of corsage would best suit you for the prom.
Dude makes nerdy George McFly look like cool new 85 George McFly. He's got the whole evening planned out, even the sex.
And then with a 20-minute drive to the prom, we would arrive at 8:53, which leaves us an extra 7 minutes for anything.
Kidding, he just wants to watch the Twilight Zone marathon with her. Watch this.
In the case of a sexual haunting, exorcism can only occur with the sacrifice of a human soul.
Alex even starts talking like Rod Serling. That'll win her back. This follows certain kinds of rules. Need a fake-out dream sequence where suddenly we incorporate zombie effects? Check. Although in fairness to this one, it's not a throwaway scene. It is foreshadowing. Zombies or no zombies, they do find the bodies on the field. They're bringing in the experts. And how? Brock Simpson is Officer Larry. He's died enough times in the series that he'll know where the killer will strike next. Let's take a break. Alex needs a nap. It's been a whole few minutes since the last time he slept.
He may be dead, but his heart still beats for the girl that he loves.
I would love to go to the prom with you. Go for it, Johnny!
My Boyfriend's Back, rated PG-13.
We're back, and Alex's sister has come to check on him and seduce his friend. It's 1990, people. When a saxophone starts playing, you're either required to have sex or be a femme fatale, or both. What? It was Mary Lou? She kills his best friend, who I can't remember his name. If Hello Mary Lou was a Nightmare on Elm Street, this is Freddy's Revenge, and these two are the Jesse and Grady of the series. Seriously, later on, his dead friend attacks her because he wants Alex for his own. Brock's back on the case. We need you to search every trunk in the school basement and find out if any bullied kids have relatives who want to go on a murderous rampage. Oh, did I mention it's a late 80s, early 90s flick?
She's gonna freak you, drive you crazy. She knows you're loaded. She wants your baby.
Yes, they got the second best Ricky Nelson song for the soundtrack. Vanilla Ice had his own movie. Tom Conlon looks like he could give us a kickin' movie starring snow. It's even making the news, which there's probably something else going on in the news around this time. The police are a little on edge, as you can see, and so was the crew. They had some troubles shooting it due to it being a very cold fall season, but there were other troubles too that are crazier than the actual movie. The film was from Live Entertainment, which at the time was run by Jose Menendez, the father of Eric and Lyle Menendez, and the director went to dinner with the whole family only 1 week before the killings, which set the start date of the movie back a couple of weeks. No clue if that gets brought up in Ryan Murphy's series / gay porn? Hell, it looks like the movie itself starts turning into news footage of that case. And why are all the parents in this bizarre?
Who knows what sets them off? You remember what happened to your father.
Did her dad bury people on the field too? Does she and Alex have the same dad? Gross! Mary Lou is right to break out Alex now that she's become a T-1000. Alex has to lead the football team to victory, get the school band to first place in the championship, plus lead the chess club, the baseball team, the debate club, anything. He is on the honor roll. It really is sort of a stalkery movie now, as Mary Lou wants to go after his other girlfriend, Sarah. I don't know why Mary Lou cares so much. The old Mary Lou would have just moved on to the next guy. He's right to take Brock with him, though. Brock has unlimited passes to every prom of the year. He'll get them in. They're going a little more metal with the music this time. They got, I don't know, Sebastian Bach's brother. Whatever music he's playing will make more sense than this music.
So I guess this will be your first kidnapping, huh?
Shut up, Larry. Just drive the car, would you please?
Why are they listening to the Hanna-Barbera channel? One thing she has in common with Mary Lou in part 2 is randomly killing other side characters before she gets to her main target. Mary Lou has time to kill, I guess. Let's lure Leonard into the projection booth.
What a beauty.
Settle down, you naughty boy, or I'm gonna paddle your ass with this reel. No one is faithful to Sarah. First, Alex slept with Mary Lou, then Leonard tried autoerotic asphyxiation with the film. Watching this last act is like watching Fatal Attraction if she sprung from a bubble tape commercial. The movie is all kinds of okay. There are some laughs in it, sure, and while the characters on paper aren't terribly likable, the performers make them work, especially with parts like this.
Take a break, boys.
Don't let someone firing a gun at prom ruin your good time. It's sort of weird this is the same writer as the second, given how different the tone is, and that Mary Lou feels slightly off, especially her being played by a different actress. Courtney Taylor is perfectly serviceable, but Lisa Scrage brought so much gleeful menace to her portrayal that if she had been carried over to this one, that alone would have elevated it. Still, they better say the trademark line.
It's not who you come with, it's who takes you home.
They said the line, now I have to give it 4 stars. This does take it a step further, where characters do visit prom hell. Should have figured the neither world was in it. The principal was the voice of Charles Dietz. It ain't so bad down here. If all the dead students of Hamilton High are here, it'll be more crowded than the school, and Alex Cunningham can get Christine back. This is a sequence with good creativity too. I like the zombie prom they're having here, and like any kind of hell... Oh no, they can only afford sound-alikes! I guess there would be fewer bodies if the exterminator simply took out his frustrations on electronics. The reactions to all this mayhem, like the power drill crown, are a little funny.
Get away from my boyfriend, you bitch!
Sarah, what are you doing?
Why are you mad? Do you want the crown to be drilled into your head? What'll happen if they do blow up hell? Is everyone just gonna walk around only slightly more burned? How is this gonna defeat Mary Lou? She'll be back. She just has to find the nearest Michael Ironside to possess. This is a decent horror comedy with enough kookiness and good comedic timing to make it entertaining. Like I said, not as good as the second. The second one was derivative of other things, sure, and while they could have lazily left it at that, they injected enough style and personality to make it stand out, especially with the good leads that it had. This one feels like something you just rent on video, but it isn't a waste of time. Where it ends up still makes me want to see where it would go after. It has a similar gotcha ending to 2. Only here, poor Alex is stuck back in the 50s. Ah yes, the best hip-hop song of the 50s. Alex's personal hell is to be in Porky's 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a follow-up to this story, but sadly your answer to this ending is the same as whatever happened to Vicky or Principal Ironside. Who knows? Because not only does the follow-up not mention them, but it has nothing to do with the story of Mary Lou Maloney. Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil, is about a crazy priest stalking horny prom kids. I hope it becomes the faith-based series it was meant to be.
Give me, Father. For I have sinned.
Just in case you're still wondering what Vicky and Alex are up to from the previous entries, there's no time to think about that now. We've got a crazy priest on the loose. Vicky is still on a road trip with Michael Ironside, and Alex is looking for Doc Brown in the 50s. They'll be fine. Prom Night 3, The Last Kiss, apparently did well enough on video that we still got a Prom Night 4 1 year later in 1991, albeit with a new storyline, but still the same connections the others in the series had. Producer Peter Simpson wanted to get away from the wackiness of 2 and 3, so this one goes for a more straightforward slasher approach, while tackling heavier themes like satanic panic, the moral majority, and church scandals, with it being about a murderous priest stalking partiers on prom night. It still sticks with the same composer, but didn't have the involvement of Ron Oliver, who wrote the previous two, and instead this came from writer Richard Beatty, whose filmography itself got knocked up on prom night. That explains the baby movies he wrote after. Plus, Clay Boris served as director, known for being more of an action director at the time, having made the cult James Remar flick Quiet Cool. But I'm more excited about the cinematographer Rick Winsity as he shot... Wait, what the hell is that? Dogmatic? That looks like a fake dog movie you'd stick in the background of a comedy about a movie producer. It took being a dog to make Dennis a man? Oh yeah, I never felt manlier than when I shit on the rug and ate the boss's jacket. Forget forgiving that movie of its sins. We must get back to Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil. I have a hunch this is gonna start out very churchy. Damn it, it was another opportunity to have Mary Lou flirt with the priest again. They say it has nothing to do with the others, but why is the evil still shot in deadite vision? But I take it this is our villain.
From their unholy acts, grant me strength.
And exactly how much is too much to spend to get one off the streets for a night? You know, to talk. Lord, give him the strength to achieve that verified badge on Pornhub. Don't worry, Hamilton High is still here. And why is this set in 1957? So they can use stock footage of the prom scenes from Hello Mary Lou. And for some reason, stock footage of Crispin Glover. Here we meet Brad and Lisa, no relation, and it isn't going so well with their own dates, but that's okay. They've found each other. If they can use the same footage from the other one, they can use the same line, too.
It's not who you come with, it's who you take home.
I've yet to see anyone actually go home with anyone in these. They're not gonna get in trouble. It's the 50s. They'd only get in trouble if they weren't in the hallways smoking. Hey guys, I'm going for extra credit. I'm drinking in the hallways. Also, we just dry humped for 30 minutes and I've got skin flaking off. They had to move the action outside so they wouldn't hear what's going on in the school. Seriously, with the stock footage they used, I'm assuming Mary Lou is being set on fire as all of this is going on. It was an even deadlier night at Hamilton High than I thought. Why did no one ever mention Brad and Lisa, the prom goers who were sliced and diced and set on fire in their cars by an insecure prude?
Join your slut.
Woof, the new Ron Ormond movie looks really harsh. Thanks for letting me know it's still 1957, by the way. I get confused when I see a scene and someone isn't doing the twist. Everything still seems to be in order. There's our Black Jesus, our Laurel and Hardy artwork, and wait a minute, this belongs in a museum! Coronado's dead and so are all his grandchildren. You didn't need to tell me this was a flashback. I would have assumed so. That's Kenneth McGregor, Magneto's dad. Something supernatural appears to be going on. He's either got the stigmata or just rested his hands on a rusty nail in the cave. Either is possible. They're sending Father Jonas away for a while. We're just gonna relocate you to another church, then the problem will go away. Works every time. Now we're caught up to 1991. I still don't believe you. Why is no one doing the lambada? Ah, so it is 91. There's Brock Simpson again. We saw him as a cop in the last one, and that didn't protect him from evil. So now he's decided to join the church as Father Colin. A shame it didn't work out between these two.
I always wondered what it would be like with Jennifer. Please don't.
You're gonna make God zap me with the computer again. Some things haven't changed. Father Yeager is still in charge. Might as well be. He hasn't aged at all since the 50s. Did you spend your makeup budget on setting the car on fire? We are getting significantly more Brock Simpson screen time here. I kinda wish he was the main character. He'd have earned it at this point. So now it's Father Colin who has to watch over crazy Father Jonas, who for whatever reason is being kept in a gigantic fallout shelter in case the end of days bring about the zombie apocalypse, I guess. Guys, you could have just stuck him in a bedroom with a lock and some bars on the doors. There's no reason to build an entire Terry Gilliam set around him, but they couldn't afford a barber, it seems.
That is Father Jonas.
You idiot, that's Perry from the Fisher King. Just give him the Holy Grail and he'll leave. He's fine, he just likes to stare up at the glow-in-the-dark stars we put on the ceiling. You must take over for me, son. See, he's coughing. That means he's old. It is a slasher, though. Guess we gotta get to the teenage characters. We're keeping a similar cast from the others. That's Nicole DeBoer of Deep Space Nine. And keeping the Hello Mary Lou tradition that we need someone from a Cube movie here. Future Fringe producer J.H. Wyman plays Mark, and you're making it too obvious that you don't go to this school. Stop bothering the girls and get back to your shift at Sam's Pizza. Father Yeager is dead now, sadly, so Colin inherited Jonas and also the keys to Father Yeager's sweet 81 Honda. But anyways, on to the horny characters of the film.
Sister Emile says she found you two in the back seat of your car.
What? Father Yeager doesn't need his Honda anymore? But I found my favorite of the young characters.
You weren't driving. You were fucking, sister.
That's a lie. What's with these girls and all the dry humping? I've got no skin left. On a serious note, kudos to Jeff and Laura here for being able to do anything in the back seat. Let's take a break while we hear more narration from Father Yeager's diaries. You don't need to tell me that Jonas is evil. I saw him set people on fire.
When nature calls, life can get
Dennis, what is it with you?
He's a dog! Dogmatic. ABC next Sunday at 7, 6 Central.
We're back, and he's gonna give Father Jonas just what he needs. Medication and a good mental ward? No. A clean, close shave, there you go. And injecting some holy water into your veins will do the trick too. What is the secret to this church? The dude has been in solitary confinement for decades and also hasn't aged a day. See, girls, you just need to join the church.
You think Mark would be going out with me if I still looked like this? No?
Just saying, lose the mom genes. It's not often I see a movie that's part Prom Night and part Exorcist 3.
Motherfucking priests. You should marry that whore, Jennifer.
Huh, well, he's clearly demon-possessed. I know I shouldn't let him out, but we gotta get the ball rolling on this movie somehow. Father Yeager gave you one job and you already failed, just as you failed as a police officer and failed at rigging the prom. It's a whole series of Brock Simpson messing up his duties. The only thing he succeeded at was bullying, and that still led to a body count. If any killer is gonna sense fornication, it's this guy. The The more a slasher series goes into the 90s, the more likely you are gonna confuse it with a Cinemax movie. Even more so than the third one. See, there's 12-year-old me watching the action after the parents go to sleep. But there's still time left for Father Colin to be the hero. He just needs to sing Carmen's Addicted to Jesus, and that'll get Father Jonas off the killing. Kidding, he's still gotta die somehow, as much as I actually am disappointed they didn't stick with him being the lead character here. It needs to get to the real main characters, the undergarments.
Thanks for letting me borrow this. Oh, sure.
When did this turn into a nudie cutie where someone is standing outside the window with x-ray glasses? Seriously, this movie is going places.
Do you like me? Of course, you're my friend.
The hell? I appreciate that it's now a movie the father would keep under his mattress, but psych, she was just kidding. Wink.
I'm sorry. I read an article in some woman's magazine about how to tell if your best friend is gay.
You fool, you just needed to see if she picked up your Home Depot catalog on the table. With Father Colin gone, now I'm more interested in this other movie they're watching.
You just wanna fuck her!
I hope that's a scene from Dogmatic. Actually, it's the director's earlier movie, Alligator Shoes. I'm assuming also fighting over lesbian porn. The church did such a good job covering up Father Jonas, they can handle this hiccup.
Take him to his room. Make it look as though he hanged himself.
Hashtag Father Colin didn't kill himself. Oh right, it's prom night. I almost forgot. And they're being confusing about it too.
Prom night.
To prom night.
To Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh!
Wait, Jamie Lee Curtis and the movie Prom Night exist in this universe, which also has footage of Prom Night 2? You know what? I can buy this. If there can be multiple Brock Simpsons, there can be Jamie Lee clones too. Though I do like that it's a prom night movie about them skipping the prom as they decide to go to a secluded house to have sex. Makes sense to me. Why tire yourself out from the dancing? Just go right to the banging. Plus, none of you look like you're on your way to prom. You look like you're attending the premiere of St. Elmo's Fire. I can't complain too much. It's paced better than the usual party in a secluded house movie that I see. You know, the ones where it turns out to be Humpty Dumpty, the Easter Bunny, or Pooh Bear lurking outside. There's already weird stuff here.
Oh, what is it?
Meat. I don't believe this. Somebody stole the goddamn freezer.
What an odd burglar. Leave the meat, take the fridge. And let me borrow some of that chicken. That might make the chafing on my crotch burn less. They've got everything they need here.
We'll whip up a feast for the guys. Oh, how domestic.
Too late, they already door-dashed Panda Express when they're not being crude.
I'm never gonna eat again.
Oh, yeah? I guess Laura will be disappointed.
Sorry, I don't speak cover your drink with a napkin. Don't go inside, you haven't said the store was all out of Magnum condoms yet. Why are you still searching around? You're here to have sex and eat Funyuns. Who cares if the rat traps haven't been set yet? Ah, just what they were looking for. Dad's collection of cheer wine.
We'll start with a 57.
Yes, mixed with the blood of burnt prom queens. As for the girls...
You sure you know what you're doing?
Leave it to me.
Wait, you mean we don't poke a hole in the bottom of the Pepsi can and drink it that way? And don't be coy, I know what's watching them. It's the Killing Tree again. Another house-gathering movie gone wrong. No matter, someone's gotta go out to the barn and get wood for the fire, and by that, I mean get followed. Damn, even in the POVs I can tell that the killer teleports. He was just in the living room a second ago. He can go anywhere and not be seen. She can't die yet, she's already got the wood for the fire. What's a sex party without s'mores? They're wearing the right kind of clothing for it.
For me, you shouldn't have.
No, you idiot, it's for the former president behind you. Don't try it on too quickly, we haven't started the fire. You're gonna get awfully cold.
I'm sorry.
I'm not mad. I'm going to try them on.
Damn, how do I tell her it was for Jeff? She's gonna be fine in the sack. She's got Laura to give her advice.
You should get down on your knees and thank Jesus that one of you is experienced. There's nothing worse than two virgins trying to fuck.
Yeah, she saw Blue Lagoon in the theater too. A terrible first date. If I were to come into this movie at this point, I wouldn't think that this was the kids on their prom night. I'd think that this is a party the parents are having while their kids are away at prom. Now put a little chocolate on those crackers. No, really, I brought the Hershey's. They're even playing games the parents would play.
Let's play a game.
Like what? Charades?
Oh, cut it out. You're all here to have sex. Well, maybe a little dancing first. This takes me back, honey, just like when we met at the country club New Year's ball back in '73. They ran out of cheer wine, too. Guess this bottle of sparkling Corona lemonade will do. There really is a lot of padding here. It doesn't have the jagged edge problem where scenes go on too long. The scenes individually are fine with their length. It's just that you could lose a handful of whole scenes altogether. The more interesting parts were still with the priest. Like, I'd want to see what Abel Ferrara or Paul Schrader would do with this character, instead of, oh, it's a Halloween edition of Red Shoe Diaries shot in under-the-table vision. And what, is he hiding in the vents now? Are we sure the killer isn't actually a mouse? It's so hot, it has its own viewers. No, really, the little brother is watching outside. You didn't have to travel this many miles. There's a Shannon Tweed movie on right now that you could watch. The Lord has stepped in to put an immediate halt to this unwarranted remake of Getting It On. Is now when the ultra-violent third act will step in? Someone asked the sultry soundtrack to leave so we can get past the sex and onto the killing. Let's take a break. They both got done doing it. I'll give them an extra minute until they're offed.
Movies, the hottest specials, the most outrageous comedy. We've got it all for you on Cinemax.
We're back, people. Why does the killer even look like he belongs in a softcore sex film? They're having problems all over the house. The girlfriend's dead, he's locked out of the room, the angels are watching them and weeping. She's gotta be around somewhere, we made sure of that.
She can't leave. No car, right?
That's right, she can't leave because of the implication. They are determined to find their friend.
Go check the wine cellar.
Well, you're coming with me.
No way, I'm not going in there again.
Just saying, if she's still in there, she can rot. My foot still stings from the mixture of glass and wine. I don't even know if the killer has to do all that much. Please, get the fire closer to the splinters. This series has a good track record of nothing going wrong with a fire. Yep, they're still searching for Laura. Again, the movie doesn't really need to be 97 minutes. This goes on a while. Their problem is that they've been searching other rooms when they should have been searching other movies. Have you tried Black Christmas or Psycho?
Laura. We can fuck now, Jeff.
I thought you would never ask. Father Jonas ain't so bad. Michael and Jason would have simply crushed his head. Jonas, however, is polite enough to give him his last rites before he kills him. He may be dead, but he's hanging with Jesus now. There's only 2 of us left, yet still time to kill in the movie. Guess we could sit down for a late night meal first. We're probably gonna have to do a lot of running eventually, though. Even the cinematographer feels like he's killing time. What if their heads look like they're inside the rings? It's the little things that give me joy. Well, they're not in the Black Christmas room anymore. Have we tried the When a Stranger Calls room? You were on the phone with someone from either of those movies earlier. I think even the actors are getting frustrated and just start yelling at the director.
What the hell's going on?
Just walk around for about 10 more minutes. You'll find something eventually. Hey, is our fire guy finally here? Good! Oh, don't worry about that. They're just shooting the Like a Prayer video nearby. That's why there's all the free Pepsi in the house. This one does go back to the roots of the first one a bit, in that both are fairly standard slashers, and why I think 2 and 3 are better. But in comparing it to the first, both have their strengths. This one switches it up by not having it be a mystery who the killer is, and I like the Father Jonas build-up. With a better script, I think he could stand out more among the 90s slashers. But even as he is here, he's a more original character than Alex in the first, though other Alex in Part 3 was a superior hero. Here, I don't really care if this guy dies. It is a cool scene though. Where the first one does work better is that it has the benefit of being made in the disco era, and all of the Saturday Night Fever nods does make it more fun in and of itself. Also, the side characters were more amusing in that one. Part 4 looks like something I'd see on Cinemax late at night, which is how I first saw it back in the 90s. Not saying you can't get enjoyment out of that, but the first one had a better style that I prefer. And it really isn't that often that I say, you should lose the slasher characters. The story of Father Colin giving up a relationship to join the church only to inherit a murderous priest is one of the more interesting plots in the entire series, and they abandon it. But at this point, I guess the Prom Night name had worn out its welcome a little bit, as there was originally gonna be a 5th film. In 1994, there was a horror movie called The Club, still produced by Peter Simpson, and even starred J.H. Wyman from this film, but as a different character. They opted, however, to just release it as a separate thing, but it was still called Prom Night 5 in some other countries. I could still use the further adventures of Father Jonas, though. He has to be supernatural, like I said. How is he suddenly back on the phone? And where is he calling from? I know, inside the house. Look at this, he's at the window, then he's outside, bullets don't hurt him either. Finally, a priest who would be a fair fight against Mary Lou. And don't even get me started on his holy water power. Get this man a skid in Castlevania immediately. You can say this is his death scene all you want, but I know that if there was a follow-up to this, the fire would only make him stronger. Oh, and I love these jumping away from the fire shots where you can tell an action movie director made it. I'm not kidding about how you could do a follow-up to this, because of course he's still alive. And did he possess her? That shot was confusing. That made way more sense when it was Ironside. But eventually it got to where they were more confident in the Prom Night name. You know why? I'll tell you why. The era of 2000s remakes, where obviously the Prom Night series needed its turn to be slaughtered by slasher fans in 2008.
Dear Donna. It's been 3 years.
This high school teacher, he got obsessed with a student.
Since we've seen each other.
Please don't do this, please.
Rated PG-13 in theaters everywhere.
The Prom Night franchise has come to an end, people. It ends the same way all of our series reviews do, with a whimper of a 2000s remake. Yes, it was Prom Night's turn to get the remake treatment, as this 2008 film is perfect for the person who said, those other Prom Night movies are okay, but you know what I love? PG-13 slasher movies. The sex and violence really got in the way of all the hard drama. That person was probably still in shock after the sleaze-tasticness of the 2006 Black Christmas remake. He really needed this film. As for everyone else, this movie stands out as being one of the worst reviewed movies in this period of remake. Even the original movie's director Paul Lynch had bad things to say about it, and I'll tell you exactly why this didn't go over well. You can't have a Prom Night remake without an appearance from Brock Simpson. The hell were you thinking? And Paul Zaza didn't do the score either. But we got Paul Haslinger of Tangerine Dream? Okay, that I can get behind. The movie had an original draft from writer Steven Sisko of The Grudge and The Grudge 2, but the final script was done by J.S. Cardone, with directing duties going to Nelson McCormick, both of whom also did PG-13 Stepfather. Safe hands. And maybe it's worth it to recognize all the faces from 2000's television, such as Brittany Snow of American Dreams, Scott Porter of Friday Night Lights, Jessica Stroup of 2000's 90210, and Dana Davis and Jessalyn Gilsig of Heroes. The other names, I'm too lazy to look all of them up. Oh hey, Kellen Lutz of the Twilight movies! We got Hercules in this! And it says it's an original film, the most ironically named company. They did the remake of Total Recall. Even the song at the beginning is a remake.
It's the time of the season.
Gotta love any movie that begins with a moody cover that you'd more likely find in the trailer. Obviously, the time of the season is referring to prom season here, though I don't know about the lyric, "What's your name, who's your daddy?" Truly it is the time of the season for loving. Loving being dry humping on a couch, totally wasted after prom. I haven't even gotten into the plot yet.
So yeah, it's going tomorrow. I'll wait for you at cheerleading tryouts.
I think I'm gonna skip it this year.
Why?
Well, my mom doesn't think it's such a good idea, you know, with all that's happened.
Beats me what the plot is. Something happened. Did someone fall out of a window again? Whatever. It's prom. There's a killer and off-screen deaths. That's all you need to know. Maybe it'll just be about Donna here looking for the remote because she doesn't want to watch football. You'll get no help from Dad. He's dead. And her brother is dead too. The cuts here are so fast, I'm having trouble following it. I'm just gonna assume Corey Cunningham was babysitting again. He kills her mother right in front of her. I still say she's gonna be fine. There's no blood. It's 3 years later, thank God. She's just talking to therapist Ming Na. Not the only actor in this who is way too good to be in this movie. Everything seems fine. Jonathan Shack was arrested and put away and forced to do direct-to-video sequels around this time. He can't hurt you anymore.
The only place that he can hurt you is in your dreams.
Oh God, is this the Elm Street remake? And the scene transitions are weird too.
So tell me, what color is your dress?
It's a champagne color with pink and gold beads.
What are you talking about? Oh, sorry, just answering my therapist's questions. She also says I need to stop taking so long to answer questions. Hopefully the visions stay away. They're talking about sex over here. The hell, we're only 8 minutes in and I feel like there's 20 minutes of it missing. Also, it may be in the universe of another Jamie Lee Curtis movie. Apparently, that's the Myers house in the background. Guess she's living with these two now.
She's come so far.
Yes, I don't even know who we are. We're her aunt and uncle, you idiot. Keep up. There's something sinister about them, too. Why did you do that? Why were you looking at me like that and just standing there? No one is gonna lay a hand on her on prom night. Her uncle is Johnny Cage. Sadly, though, this movie doesn't have the blood code, which I guess neither did his Mortal Kombat movie. She prefers Street Fighter anyway. I like how I'm supposed to care about her romance with Bobby, even though this is the first time we're seeing him. Needs to be more 2000s. Though it's kind of funny that this is the same company that did Not Another Teen Movie. Quick, we need to get out of here fast before your aunt and uncle realize I'm 7 years older than you. I don't know who half of you are. I don't even know why this man tried killing her earlier. At least the other movies took time to set up their couplings. Sure, they were weird about it, but they did it better than this. Montage. Now I know they like partying. Hang on. Let me spit the bugs out of my teeth before we take the next picture. Don't worry, they'll just describe people we haven't met yet.
You know Chrissy is going all Hollywood with her theme this year, so she's the president of the prom committee. A rich bitch, one word. $100,000?
Do I need to be here for this conversation? And is it prom, or are they attending the premiere of the movie? But meanwhile, in another film, who else is gonna be in this?
This just came in for you.
Wait, really? Forget the prom. Let's never go back to the prom characters. Can we just stay with this American remake of Luther between Idris Elba and James Ransom here? I wasn't expecting it to be a reunion of The Wire. It's like it called in a much better movie to explain the backstory to us, where Donna was being stalked by her biology teacher named Richard Fenton, and he kept files of pictures of her. She even picked him out of a lineup despite him doing his best Jake Johnson disguise. Shouldn't these scenes have been in the movie earlier? Even the escape scene is ridiculous.
He's been in a maximum security prison for the criminally insane.
Maximum security, my ass! And get the ADR in here. We missed some exposition.
Hang tight, kid. I'm gonna tell the aunt and uncle. This is gonna rock their world.
Thanks. I would have been confused without the use of the phrase rock their world. Should be easy to pick off these dumbasses. I'll just try sneaking in the biggest bottle of booze that I have under my jacket. No one will notice. Is it okay that I'm rooting for the killer?
Chrissy! Wow, your dress, it's so simple.
Girls, save your claws for your date's backs. Just try to get along.
Come on, this is prom. Okay, let's just all be nice and just forget about the past.
What past? It's like I'm watching a CW series and accidentally skipped an episode. The budget for this prom in real life would exceed the movie budget. Let's film it in an Oscar bash in Hollywood. That'll save us money. It already comes with a DJ.
It's time to get the party started. Get out there and get this party poppin', y'all. Next time,
You, sir, are no Willie the Kid. Corey did make a mistake killing him off. I'm really missing all the disco sound-alikes from the first prom night. The music they're playing here is made to make someone say, so you guys want to go somewhere else? And with its stalker plot, it's like I'm watching a prom night movie that was pitched to the Lifetime Network. And you're just asking for trouble having your prom at a hotel.
So, which one of you beautiful young women is my date tonight?
Let's give him Bobby so we can have a girls' night. These guys are such creeps. They're the most sinister ones in an elevator that contains a mass murderer. Since we never saw any scenes of him before the murder, the stalking plot is just random. Like, why?
That one guy was kind of cute. No! What? Oh my god! Oh my god!
Ugh, what am I doing here? Why am I obsessed with her? She and her friends are obnoxious. Let's take a break. We gotta get some knife action here. And by that, I mean he's slashing the hell out of that room key. You've got a couple of conventions coming up soon. You can see all of us at Grand Rapids Comic-Con on November 15th through the 17th, where you can get tickets at grcomiccon.com. But if you can't make that, Doug and I will be at Days of the Dead Chicago, November 22nd through 24th. Get your tickets for that one at daysofthedead.com. We're back, people. He did ask for the bed to be untucked, and it was clearly tucked. Anyway, in the better movie...
He escaped from jail 3 days ago. He's at large.
Oh, how could it take so long for us to be notified?
Where the editing is still ridiculous. At least I don't have to listen to this playlist or hear about this drama.
Hey, what's going on with Claire and Michael?
Oh, same-o, same-o.
Whatever the hell that means. And how does no one see the creepy man lurking about?
I'll just go with you.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Oh my god, I can feel the presence of awkwardly placed insert shots standing nearby. Seriously, is he supernatural? What is happening? Why did he disappear? How did he get all the way over there without her seeing? He can just appear wherever the script wants him to. When she goes back to her room, there he is. Because every room comes with a complimentary killer and a jump scare. That's just how we greet each other every day. God, the deaths continue to be just as confusing as the conversations. What did he do, selfie her to death? We'll keep everyone safe here. I'll just hang out in the lobby and pass out a flyer.
You seen this man tonight?
No. Who is this guy anyway?
His name is Jason Mantzoukas. We want to make sure this doesn't end up on How Did This Get Made. This movie is too bad for anyone to watch. Jesus, can anyone please have some kind of chemistry with each other?
You wanna dance?
God, no! But seriously, they're both very sad that they aren't going to the same college with each other and are worried about their upcoming long-distance relationship. Can't be farther than the distance between them now. Still, they're less douchey than the other couples.
You pissed her off, Michael. She's been crying her eyes out. You can't keep doing this to her. You're gonna lose her.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Well, he's gonna shoot a nail gun into the back of his date's head and leave a business card. What a night. Nothing like having a prom where I can enjoy my Jack and Coke while heading up to the hotel room where all the students have rooms. It's a universe of the least concerned parents in the world. Unless they all want their binge-drinking preppy killer kids to die. And since no one bleeds, it'll be very easy for Richard to clean his crime scenes and be an excellent hider. The perfect hiding spot. The black hole magically hidden in the closet. Even the DJ has had enough of this. He steps out for a break and leaves the prom itself with its own montage. I'm with you, Idris. I too don't care about anyone in this video yearbook. But finally, I have one of the students I like.
Let's go upstairs.
They're gonna announce king and queen. You don't care about this at all, do you?
What's to care about?
Yeah, Hercules. It's time someone got real with this movie.
What if Ronnie wins king instead of you?
What if he does?
Give this man the crown immediately. I love it when he side-eyes other characters too.
Yeah, Chrissy, you could do a lot worse.
When did you get there? Were you standing there the whole time? God, the editing at this prom is terrible. I know they didn't just hire Idris Elba only to stick him in a corner and listen to shitty music.
How's it going?
Oh, well, so far so good.
I've got $20 that says Donna will win prom queen. And seriously, he's the only good cop here.
Which one is she?
She's the blonde.
What do you mean, which one is she? You're working on this case, and you don't even know the person whose family Richard murdered? And don't get all serious.
You know, everyone always says that prom is supposed to be this amazing time that everyone looks forward to since the beginning of freshman year. It's really sad, because some of us are never going to see each other again.
Don't get deep. Not even the stab wounds in this are deep. And in another bit of random casting, Josh Leonard from the Blair Witch Project? Sure, we could add another body to this.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Richard is a killer who is just annoyed when he has to murder someone. Some of these just look like kinky Overlook Hotel sex. Well, at least someone's getting laid at prom. They have better chemistry than most of the others.
Me and Lisa are gonna head up to the suite. See who's taking Mike and Claire so long.
Right.
The hell are you? Oh, right, you're my best friend, I guess. Each line is more awkward than the previous.
I'm having a great time.
Are you? But hey, someone finally spotted Richard, sorta.
That guy, he looks so familiar.
Right? I guess your former teacher who killed your friend's family would be an easy face to forget.
I swear that I know that guy from somewhere.
This movie is so goddamn stupid. I don't even like their names.
Let's give it up for DJ Tyler for giving us an awesome prom.
DJ Tyler. I hate him. I can't imagine why no one else wanted to investigate this. They find a body in the trunk and there's still only 2 cops here. Oh, and it took her long enough, but she remembered what the killer looks like, or she just wanted to get out of having sex. What is with this guy? I guess he knew she'd eventually run for the stairs so he could make them slippery as hell. It's a horror movie, so clearly there's nowhere else to go but the floor that's under construction. That way it can look like a ghost movie now. It's okay, the birds have a room key. We'll be right back. Not like there's gonna be a good death scene in any way, shape, or form.
Be who you want. Together we gonna be yourself on the CW spot. Oh.
We're back. Is what's her name gonna be okay? Damn, once again bumped off by shitty editing. Should we wait for the SWAT team to show up? Are you kidding? You know they're all out to lunch. It's up to us to look for the guy who'd probably be a nationwide manhunt. Now they need to get the place cleared out. Finding one body earlier was fine, but 2 bodies? Forget about it. Don't leave us hanging in suspense. The fire alarm goes off just as they were going to announce the winner. She'll take matters into her own hands to find out who is queen. Okay, that was pretty funny. But what's my favorite character thinking?
What's going on?
I don't know, but we gotta go outside.
Are you as happy as me to be leaving this bullshit? Whoa, what's with all the backup now? I told you, we got this! You're gonna need something more powerful, though, to take on this master of illusion. But alas, it's here we find out that the killer was Richard this whole time. With this confusing-ass editing, it looks like she's fending off his teleportation powers. Now he's in the peephole. So yeah, it's not a mystery slasher like the first. Like the other sequels, we know who the villain is from the beginning. But at least the other sequels took time to set up their antagonists. Hell, the first act of Prom Night 4 was the best part of that movie. Here it's, we've just got a sentence that says he was her teacher and he stalked her. That's all you need to know. Now go. We don't even have time for a mask. Put a hat on him like he's a celebrity avoiding the paparazzi. Are we gonna at least see Idris Elba take on the killer in his jump scare room? What, did he have that body on a timer? Sadly, though, she has to break it to the others about their dead friends.
Claire's dead.
Sorry to blurt it out like that. See ya. Lord, when they get home, they even make a handshake awkward.
I'm Detective Nash.
Hey, how are you?
How many entrances are on the house?
I don't know why we had to Michael Bay our intro, but nice meeting you. It's okay. Bobby and Donna still have a room together at the house.
Look, we're just down the hall. If you need anything.
Condoms are in the top drawer. As for the crime scene, whatever they find will be confusing. My God, why are these bodies rigged with jump scare bolts of energy? I bet Richard found a genius way to sneak out by putting on the bellhop's uniform. He's unrecognizable. This movie is terrible. To call this generic would be a step up. The first one was generic, but I could say nice things about it. Here, the editing, the pacing, the awful storytelling, the stupidity of the characters, everything about it screams, we have a franchise name, let's just get it out in theaters, collect our money on opening weekend, move on, and put in 0 effort. It doesn't even mention Hamilton High. Hell, it's a prom night that doesn't even have a school in it, and the killer is a teacher. The best parts are when they just watch another movie, like Can't Hardly Wait. The others all had something about them that stood out. Even Prom Night 3, which was the only one to be a proper sequel to the previous, didn't just remake the second. It stood out by making a comedy version of it. This one is basically like a script for a stalker TV movie simply disguised as a slasher. But even then, there's not a single memorable death scene in it. Is Detective Nash dead, or did he just fall asleep? Same with Bobby. Stop making sounds. The characters are trying to get a good nap in. And what are you doing? Don't hide in the closet. That's the source of his powers.
Donna?
We're going back to Narnia, bitch. The only thing keeping me in suspense is wondering how terribly edited Richard's death is gonna be. Wow, those pellets nearly ripped my shirt. Well, we're done here, folks. Bring in the obligatory out-of-place 2000s credits music.
This feels like another dream.
Worst Alex Cross movie ever. Ugh, well that was the worst of the series, and despite it being a hit at the box office, it was so bad that they didn't even give it any in-name only sequel. As for the rest of the series, normally this is where I say the first is the best, but here, Hello Mary Lou is the clear winner. This one messed up by not even including the trademark line, "It's not who you come with, it's who takes you home," despite this being the only one where a couple actually does go home. Thanks for watching. Now show us some love by subscribing today and following us on our Facebook at The Real Cinema Snob. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to compliment the April Fool's Day and It's Alive remakes for at least being better than this one.
He's making me so damn mad, and on top of that, I have killer cramps.